Do you mind if I speak for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right, I'm going to come up. Jake, you mind running the camera? My name's Bryan Holder. I'm from Council Bluffs, and I run for Congress twice down in southwest Iowa. And I've worn this hat for all my elections. I've also run for the, oh, you can take a picture. I've run for the State House twice. And a couple months ago, I lost my 5th election in 3 years for Iowa Western Community College Board of Trustees. So I have a communications degree from Iowa Western, a psychology degree from Bellevue University, and a law degree from Creighton. But when I first was told by my former soulmate ex-girlfriend to run for Congress almost 4 years ago, I did some research, and anyone that runs for the U.S. House of Representatives should do enough due diligence before they run to discover what I discovered. And what I discovered is briefly listed here in your Constitution you've got. The original Bill of Rights had 12 articles. Only 10 of those were passed by the initial states to become what we commonly refer to as the Bill of Rights. But the very first amendment would have limited our congressional districts to 50,000 people. So if you think about that, Congressman King, according to the founders, should be sharing this responsibility with 14 other elected Iowans. The same thing with my Congressman David Young. There should be 15 little districts of 50,000 people, and that way the constituencies are small enough that anyone here in this room can put on a crazy hat, wear a patriotic t-shirt, and run for public office and be an advocate for whatever issues you feel are important to you. So I've run for office. I'm going to run again for Congress next year. And I don't take any money to run for office. I don't accept any campaign contributions. And now what this allows me to do is I have a free rein to speak out about whatever issues I want to. I don't owe anybody any political favors for the money they've given me. But I've been excluded from 2 congressional debates on public television, just as an average citizen. I'm afraid that if I wore this outfit on TV, they might have a revolution the next day. But I'm running again next year. I hope to be in the debate on public TV with Congressman Young. And, you know, if you guys ever run into Congressman King up here, ask him about Article the First, the very first amendment that would break his power and destroy his, what I like to call, a federal fiefdom. So, does anybody have any questions? Or one other thing I'll tell you, too, is that the state of Iowa, it's time to add more seats to our assembly. When the state was founded in 1846, each state representative represented less than 1,000 people. Now they represent 30,000. Our state senators represented less than 2,000 people. And now they represent about 60,000. So you can see the scope and the size of the representation and the size of the constituencies have grown so big that these 2 Republican and Democratic parties, which I call the 2-party tyranny, they have a stranglehold on our government. They have a stranglehold on our liberty. Now, I tried for a couple of years working for liberty within the Republican Party. I even have my Rand Paul pledge pin on my hat here. But I decided a year and a half ago to leave the Republicans and join the Libertarian Party because I've always been a libertarian-minded person. I think the government is supposed to serve us, and we're superior, not inferior to our elected officials. And if you're in the Republican Party arguing for these liberty issues, that's not good for the party, all the infighting and stuff. So the great thing about us libertarians is we agree about 90-some% of the issues, so we don't have to argue. We get to discuss possible solutions. But I tell people I may sound negative, but I still think there's time to turn the government around, but more of us need to get involved. There was just a municipal election in Council Bluffs last night, and 15% of the electorate showed up. So the school election in September had a 10% turnout. I was in a special election for Iowa House District 22 back in June, and we had a 10% turnout. So obviously our election officials are not doing a good enough job getting notice to people that, hey, it's election time, there's candidates on the ballot, and these are your governments. You know, these people are elected to make decisions that are going to affect all of our lives. So you can, you know, remain sitting in the audience, but I hope some of you guys, when you turn 25, you run for the state legislature. When you turn older, run for state senate, run for governor like Jake, or run for the legislature like I've had. So more voices, more choices. That's the American way. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We want to clap.
Oh, that's all right. That's a generation.